Hey guys, my name is John Schell. I'm a commercial and lifestyle photographer in Southern California, and we're here in Pacific Beach. Why don't you guys come and join me on one of my lifestyle shoots today?
Alright, so John, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Actually, let's start that over because this is going to be the intro. Get some pictures in the water!
This dusty road, open sky, shelter the ones that I keep inside. Loving you so, letting you go, baby, moving along. Time brushes my cheek with such emotion. I carry the seed with my devotion. Do it right, do it wrong, walking that way when the feeling's strong. I've got to live more than I give, moving along. The tracks of my youth wind to the hills, the way they will. Valleys so great, you know what I mean. Do it right and do it wrong, walking that way when the feel's strong. I've got to live more than I give, baby, moving along. Shelter the ones that I keep inside. Loving you so, letting you go, moving along. Loving you so, letting you go, baby, moving along. Loving you so, letting you go, moving along.
How did everything like this, how did this kind of start?
Well, it started kind of backwards. I sort of fell into it. I was going around. Growing up, I always had little point and shoot cameras that I would take with me everywhere and just take pictures of, you know, neighborhood dogs and old people and just all random kind of stuff. And from there, it sort of grew, and as I got older, I started realizing I had sort of a love for photography. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I decided I wanted to upgrade from the little point and shoots to the DSLR, and I wound up getting a camera. And from that point, I just started taking more pictures of my dog, of flowers, of all kinds of stuff. Some friends asked me to take pictures of them. Took some pictures of them, posted them on MySpace and Facebook, and more Facebook than anything else. Got a good response from them, and it just sort of has been snowballing since. People seem to really respond to my work, which I feel really lucky because I still don't really feel like it's work. It's been a pleasure.
So what do you primarily shoot now? I mean,
I'd like to think my ideal style, when people think of me, it's more of a commercial lifestyle, some kind of fashion type of look. I really like my shoots to be a lot of fun. I like them to be bright and colorful and you know, really kind of capture, without sounding cliche, capture the in-between moments, capture the things that aren't posed or aren't planned or aren't expected. And I hope at least that sort of comes through in what you guys saw today and what people see in my work.
So where do you find your inspiration? I mean, you have your images are just like incredibly clean and very vibrant. Have that really kind of warm feel to them. Where is it that you get your inspiration that kind of shapes and molds your style?
I think, well, I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a lot of the people that I'm friends with, that I follow, that I look up to. There are a lot of local photographers who I respect and whose work I follow very, very closely. And I think the good thing about doing stuff like that is that you're able to take inspiration from everywhere. From, I have some friends who shoot primarily fashion. I have some friends who shoot product. I have some friends who shoot surf. I have some friends who shoot pretty much everything. And, from the product, I take this aspect of my work. From the fashion, I take this aspect of it. And it all just sort of luckily meshes together in some sort of stew that I don't know, people seem to like it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy it tremendously. And in addition to that, I think, there's a lot of Southern California that comes out in my work. Not at the moment, but bright sun, kind of that very vibrant look. Growing up as a surfer, being around the ocean a lot has always influenced me. So I think there's a lot, or I hope that comes through in my work.
And on that note, I'm gonna take a swim in my beer.
Good idea.
So you said that you moved in from New York. How long have you been here? Do you think that your time in New York has influenced the way that your work comes out now?
I mean, this is my 8th year, or 9th year, going on my 9th year here in San Diego, in Southern California. I only started really pursuing photography seriously within the last 5 years. So while I lived in New York, there really was no photographer part of me. There was, the creative part of where I was, attempting to draw or paint or to do things which I did very, very poorly. So there was that aspect to it. There was also the growing up right near the beach and constantly being around the surfing ads, being around it all the time. And then moving out here where it was actually, instead of not looking at it in a magazine, you're looking at it's reality.
When you kind of started, you said that you fell into photography and kind of just discovered it that way. If you were to go back those 5-6 years from when you first started, do you think you'd be doing it differently?
I don't think so. I think if you're constantly looking at stuff like that, I don't think it's beneficial to constantly say, well, oh, if I had started this earlier, if I had started shooting this differently, if I had learned, this style sooner. I don't think that really works, and I don't think it's helpful, because I think it's I'm happy where I am right now with my work, and I enjoy, and I've immensely enjoyed the process in getting here. Everything has been trial and error. I hate saying completely self-taught, because there are so many people who I've learned from, and so many people who I've tried to emulate, and then in doing so has created my own sort of look, I guess. But I don't think I would do anything different. I'm happy. Maybe pick up a camera a little bit earlier, but that could be said for anything.
Absolutely. what about photography makes you happy? What about it, you know, gives you that kind of extra motivation to shoot?
It's the same thing. When I used to play the guitar, I was terrible at playing the guitar. I was really, really bad at it. Anybody who knows can attest to that. But there was a satisfaction in, you know, hacking my way through a song and getting to that last chord or that last lyric or that last, and saying, wow, I've done this. You know, with photography, it's sort of the same thing. It's setting the plan. It's going through and saying, well, I want to shoot this concept, and, you know, getting in touch with agencies and getting in touch with models and getting in touch with stylists or pulling our own clothes. And it's that satisfaction at the end that's saying, wow, we did this. Look what we created out of quite literally nothing. Everybody came together. You know, there's that aspect to it. There's also the aspect where it's, you know, the artistic side of it, I guess, is we're creating something. You know, I don't really go, you know, like I don't delve into that too much because it tends to come off sounding funny. But you know, it's the idea of creation. It's the idea of constantly of constantly putting stuff out there, of having people respond to your work, which I guess it, you know, Facebook likes or Instagram likes or whatever. Having other people say, hey, I really like your work. I really like what you're doing. Keep it up. You know, that pushes me a little bit. It pushes me a lot, actually. I've been incredibly lucky to be as supported as I've been through this. So there's that. There's everything, I guess. Wait 1 second. Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that kind of playfulness, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Okay? Exactly like that.
Good.
All right, so let's first come into the shot. Walking. And we're going to try this again because
It needs to be natural.
it needs to be natural. So we're going to do it now. We're going to do it later. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the 5th or 6th time we do it, we're gonna do it. But it's going to be basically like mouth wide open, laughing. It's the funniest thing you've ever heard. Your body language is leaning forward, like, oh my god, this guy's hilarious. You're going to be like, I'm funny, sort of stuff.
I got this, girl.
Exactly. And then actually, I'm gonna keep this on. Okay. Okay. I like those. We're gonna keep working at it, but we have a good start. I'm incredibly lucky, and I'm incredibly, you know, happy with how things go because this was not my plan. This was not how it was supposed to be, but I couldn't be happier with how things are turning out, photography related and just life in general. You know.
So, I mean, you're getting progressive and you're creating these beautiful images that, you know, are obviously receiving a huge response and like people are enjoying it. So, what would you say? Like, what would your advice be to other people that want to get to that level, that want to pursue and be able to have like this awesome feeling and you know, career they're building for themselves? What would your advice be to those people?
Work a lot to the point where your friends start to make fun of you for working so much. Last year, 2013, I did like over 130 different shoots,
Wow.
working with agencies and building my name and just sort of putting myself out there a lot. And it was that constant development. Every shoot, I learned something new about myself. Every shoot, I learned something new about how to direct models. Every shoot, I learned something new about lighting and my gear and all this other kind of stuff. You know, I'm not one of those people who's going to say, you know, open up a fashion book and study, or go to a website and study what you want to do. It just, you know, pull inspiration from everywhere. You know, it's just a constant sort of. It has to be constant. It has to be consistent. You have to want. You have to want it, I guess.
Definitely. So, you said before that before you kind of got into photography, you were doing other artistic outlets, and you're drawing, and you're, playing guitar and stuff like that. If you weren't doing photography, what would it be that you'd be doing?
I'd probably be surfing a lot more. I'd probably be playing my guitar more. Hiking. I don't know. I wouldn't go back to painting or drawing because I refuse to subject the world to that terrible stuff.
Where would you see yourself, like another 5 years, another 10 years from now? Do you see yourself continuing to pursue this? Like, what's your vision, and what would you like to see in the next 5-10 years?
Well, I guess the cliche answer would be to travel the world and shoot beautiful people all over the place. But I would just like to continue the upward slope that I'm on, I guess. I would like to travel. I would like, agency representation. I would like to be shooting for brands. I would like, the whole package. I want everything. So I want. That's something that I'm working towards, and that's something that I'm really pushing myself towards. 5 years. I mean, I still see myself doing this. Shooting. I still see myself, doing this kind of stuff. 10 years, I couldn't even project, because 5 years ago, if you would have told me that this is what I would be doing, I was taking pictures of flowers. I was taking pictures of my dog, which I still am, but I can't even project that far, because I don't know. Who knows?
So what kind of projects are you working on, like, right now?
Right now, I'm actually going through a whole process of redoing my book with a little bit more of a Southern California lifestyle look towards it. I've shot a bunch of fashion. I've shot a bunch of portraiture and beauty. I'm really kind of pushing myself to be a full or well-rounded lifestyle photographer, and so that, the projects that I'm coming up on, I have this really kind of cool shoot planned for next weekend. More lifestyle stuff. I would like to do a little bit of traveling and kind of go to some different markets and do some shoots. Go back to Miami or go maybe to Portland or something like that.
So what would you say is probably, for working with the agencies and stuff like that, what would you say, like, the most stressful, or like the most, what scares you the most when you shoot, or if anything?
Everything. It's one of those things, and I'm sure everybody can relate. It's kind of like waking up and forgetting your memory card, or forgetting your camera, or forgetting those. I leave my house, and those are the things that I go through. It's the mental checklist. It's the, what did I forget this time? What did what's going to happen? Is the weather going to be suddenly overcast? Are we going to get kicked out of some places?
So all those things happen today.
All those things happen today.
All those things happen today. We remember the memory cards, so
got the memory cards.
Off to a good start.
Yeah. But what scares me the most, I think, is probably, because I am, I know there are some pros who have been doing this for a long time who go and they show up and they snap off 100 pictures and they get 100 keepers, or whatever high percentage. What scares me the most is going through a whole shoot, and especially when it comes to the nature of lifestyle photography, it's very momentary. So if you miss that moment, you're not going to get it back. And then if you go through it again, it's almost faked, So what scares me the most is maybe just I want to say missing the shot, because that sounds so terrible. It sounds cliche.
But it's true.
But it's true. No, it's absolutely
totally
true. You're right. So what scares me the most is probably not keeping this feeling, this euphoric kind of post-shoot, like, yes, we did something really cool today that not everybody gets to do. What scares me is not feeling that every time I shoot. So far, so good. It's been pretty good so far, so I'm happy.
So have you had like a worst shoot experience where all of those things culminated into just like a perfect storm of...
We had 75% of it happen today, so... Yes, but that shall go nameless.
Fair enough.
No, it's stuff like that happens all the time. It's always varying degrees of success, and it's varying degrees of failure. I don't ever want to be the person who shows up, sets everything up, clicks the button, and then walks away and says, I'm a photographer, and that's it, and I leave. I want to be actively involved. I want people to laugh. I want people to joke around. I want there to be some aspect of, oh my God, it might not work, but it did work. You know, I like that excitement is what, I guess, to answer your question from like 5 hours ago, that excitement is what keeps me coming back, because I never know where it's, I mean, I do know, I have an idea, but there's an excitement to it. There's a live performance aspect to it.
Absolutely. So if you were to like set up like an ideal shoot where you're at right now, I mean, is there like perfect conditions? I mean, because you're limited in some degree to your models and, you know, what the agency's requiring and stuff like that. Is there something where if you had full, complete creative control that you would want to shoot that's different than what you shoot now?
I think, honestly, being in Southern California, we're really lucky because we have access to pretty much everything. And as long as we're not shooting in LA, which tends to be a little bit more restrictive, shooting down here, we kind of have a little bit of, we actually have a lot of freedom. There are some shoots that we've done, with the exception of the pier today, where we got kind of kicked off. But you know, we have access to places that are just really beautiful and really kind of amazing. We have coastal, we have mountains, we have downtown area, we have everything in between. And I'm lucky that I have some really good relationships with a lot of the agencies here. So I've been working with them. And as far as an ideal shoot, I just kind of want everything to come together.
That's all you can really ask for.
That's it.
I mean, just hit none of those things we talked about earlier and you're good.
And even if that happens, you know, you roll with the punches and you deal with what you get. You know, yeah. You know what? That's perfect, actually. Yeah, yeah. Not to elbow, but maybe
Do what you gotta do.
There we go. Just like that.
Yep. A little muscle.
And then maybe kind of turn this way. There you go.
Yeah, so guys, can you tell me what's going on here?
Looking at me, because when you're looking at me, it becomes like a couple, like an engagement shoot. So that's it. We're wrapping up. We're done for the day, and just wanted to thank everybody for coming out and being a part of our shoot today. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you guys. Fun.
Thank you guys too.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, you guys did awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Schell. I'm a commercial and lifestyle photographer, and I've just been framed.